fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
What to do with the Canon AE-1 whose shutter locks open upon release. As counterintuitive as it might seem, this is often caused by a broken ASA dial link wire. The ASA dial link wire runs along a series of pulleys and connects the shutter speed and ASA dial to the ASA dial resistor base. The functionality of the ASA link wire can be checked by removing the rewind knob and the rewind shaft cover plate. You can move the rewind knob and the rewind shaft cover plate. Snap ring pliers are used to remove the snap ring that retains the cover plate, and once the cover plate is removed, you can view the ASA dial resistor plate. It should turn as the shutter speed dial is also turned. In this case, it does not move, the shutter speed dial being turned, the ASA dial resistor base just sitting there. Obviously, you'll need to remove the top cover to access the link wire. The removal of the top cover is featured in another fixed old camera video. Here we see the slack condition of the link wire as it runs across the pulleys. It should be taut. Instead, it is loose as we track the condition of the wire along its position. It should be spring-loaded against the resistor ring, and here it's just slack. As we look back over onto the shutter dial side, we see that the wire is twisted and caught among the contact of the shutter speed changer. This is what's causing the shutter to hang open. If the ASA link wire is tangled amongst the contacts of the shutter speed changer dial, it will need to be removed. In order to remove the shutter speed changer dial, the detent lever will block the plate and need to be pulled back so that the shutter speed dial can be lifted free. This tungsten connective wire is damaged beyond reuse. It's going to have to be completely removed, and so in order to facilitate this, we will remove the ASA resistor plate. That is held in place with a snap ring. Of course, a snap ring pliers will need to be used to remove that snap ring. Ideally, you'll be able to salvage a good quality ASA connective wire from a donor camera. If that's not available, a .005 Kevlar fishing line can be fashioned into a suitable substitute. If the Kevlar fishing line is to be used, then the brass clip retainers on the old wire will need to be removed and reused to attach the fishing line to the pulleys. With a salvaged ASA link wire in hand, we are ready to proceed with the replacement of the ASA link wire. The nice thing about a salvaged wire is that the pulleys are already assembled to the wire. The ASA resistor base needs to be applied over the rewind shaft housing, and there's a spring that needs to engage into a notch, and as you counter turn the dial, you'll see the spring tension. Before tensioning the ASA resistor plate, install the spacer washer and the snap ring retainer. Once the ASA dial is installed, create tension on the ASA resistor plate spring by counter turning the dial a revolution and a half. It's turned counterclockwise. As you turn the ASA resistor plate, route the what's it called? Oh, the tungsten link wire, the ASA link wire, as shown around the eccentric screw. Well, not as shown there. That didn't work so good. You have to try again. It can sometimes be a little problematic, but you just keep working with it till you get the cable or wire, tungsten ASA wire, properly routed. Well, again, tension the spring, turning it counterclockwise, a revolution and a half. And then we will route the tungsten wire around. I don't know why I have so much trouble remembering what that's called, around the eccentric screw, as shown here. Let's try it. Try again. I think we're going to get it. There, we got it that time. It's going to drop in place. Nope. All right. Well, we're going to try again. There we got it. Drop it down into the groove of the pulley and then allow the pulley to back turn against the tension. Maintain a grip on the wire so that the tension is pulled back against the wire as you route it across the pulleys. If you're careful, you'll be able to do this without losing the tension on the ASA ring. Once it's in around the final pulley, you just let the tension on the ASA resistor plate pull the pulley back, and then you can drop the link pulley on the shutter speed dial side over the except something was forgotten here. That's not seating properly. If you were so careless to forget to install the shutter speed changer dial, then I don't know what to call any of this stuff, then you'll have to hold the tension onto the pulley while you install the dial, and be sure you pull the tent lever back so that it drops down into place. Just almost out of camera shot here, but you can see the lever clicking into the tent. And then you can now install the ASA shutter dial pulley side of the link wire. Regardless of the inability of this narrator to come up with consistent names for the items involved in this repair, you can now at least see how they are to be positioned. Clear enough? Well, anyway, this is how they operate. When you rotate the shutter speed dial side of the ASA link, the resistor base should turn accordingly. Now the top cover can be reinstalled. Shutter speed should be on bulb, and the ASA should be on 32. And with that in mind, the little notch for the dial will drop into the ASA pulley, and then the notches for the shutter speed changer will drop into the bulb setting. When you feel them drop into place, test the dial by rotating, keeping pressure down on the dial so that it doesn't slip out of its notches. Once satisfied, you can install the retainer nut. Don't forget the little washer that goes underneath the retainer nut. There it goes. Tighten the nut with a spanner wrench and then test the shutter speed dial for proper operation against the resistor plate. As you adjust the ASA dial, the resistor plate on the rewind side of the camera should turn, as you can see it's doing here. Looks good, so we're going to go ahead and install the advance lever parts. The advance and release test shows that the shutter no longer hangs open. However, there is a delay in the release. Goofed up the timer switch. Top cover needs to come back off. We jump ahead to the removal of the top cover to see that the timer switch wire is on the wrong side of the timer switch. The wire just needs to be repositioned, and the switch needs to be tweaked into the proper position, and then the release will no longer be delayed because the self-timer is no longer stuck in the on position. The AE-1 top cover installation is covered in greater detail in other Fixo camera videos. So there you go. The shutter hang open was all caused by a misplaced and frayed ASA dial link wire.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.